Greetings everyone. This is going to be the PvP build in which we are going to use to Emry. Emry is one of the best. I love him a lot. I love this hero a lot. It's one of the best current cavalry heroes. Of course, at the moment at least in season 1, until Lilith decides to release another cavalry heroes. But in today's video I'm going to show you personally what I think is the best talents when it comes to the PvP with this guy. Keep in mind something, since it's a cavalry hero, this means your march speed in general is going to be the fastest. You would be able to catch up almost anyone and they can't basically run away from you unless they are way faster cavalry. As soon as you clash with the enemy, that's it, you are going to actually destroy them. It doesn't matter, with the exception of infantry of course. So let's start. Now there are a couple of builds, but in today's video I'm going to show you only the PvP build. Obviously you are forced to start with overall attack, whether you like it or not, and once you max it out you will have two options. Option number 1 is to increase your march speed of your legion. Option number 2 is you are going to increase your PvP stats and PvE stats at the same time, which is defense. If you want to go for the speed, that's up to you, but I prefer to go for defense since we are going to clash anyway, and your march in general, your cavalry will have the skill. The skill basically is going to let you catch up to anybody. Basically this skill, the unyielding rush, march speed increases while approaching the target legion, and it's going to give you a southern rage. It's actually going to be hard from anyone to actually run away from you. Hence I do not prefer to take the march speed, but sometimes in some scenarios you would take it. But for now I would consider defense being way much better, and obviously we are going to take health since it's a PvP build. Balanced heart is obviously something you have to take. Now the main tree here which we are going to focus on is the cavalry tree. If you paid attention, unlike any other tree, the cavalry speed itself increases your march speed by way much better if we, for example, went to the mobility. Even though it says mobility, but it does not increase your march speed by the same speed. So we are going to the cavalry path and we are going to take the cavalry speed and max it out. Now you have three options. Option number 1, your legion take less hero skill damage. Option number 2, you get 5% to your cavalry. Option number 3, you are going to deal more normal attack damage. You have two options. Option number 1 is you take cavalry attack. Option number 2 is you deal more normal attack damage. What is the difference between both of these? If you decided to take an increased attack for a legion, your normal attack will be increased, but not as much as the 0.8%. And your skill damage is going to be increased because your skill scales based on how much attack do you have and how much skill damage you are dealing. So both of the options are actually nice. However, for overall damage, it's going to be cavalry attack since you want to go in and do this burst of damage. Hence we are going to take a cavalry attack. Now you will have, of course, one of the three options. Option number 1, you take less attack damage. Option number 2, it's a chance percentage. Option number 3, your legion is going to deal more hero skill damage. Now why do I like this more than anything else? Like here for example, I take less attack damage. Here you are going to like this way much because cavalry has the ability to directly and instant, as soon as you launch yourself into a legion, every 12 seconds you will be able to cast your skill. Unyielding range, it's literally 12 seconds, allows you to instant get a southern rage, which means you are going to deal a lot of damage as soon as you clash with the enemy, which is why I prefer to take it. If you decided to take high spirits, it's completely chance. Since it's only 10%, it is literally once every 10 turns. But this one, you are going to take it straight as soon as you clash with the enemy. Hence, I favor it a lot. Now you have two options. Option number one, when your legion is only cavalry, they gain shield upon leaving a building. This is only upon leaving a building. It does not say upon leaving a resource node or something, so you can't actually abuse it, which I don't like it. I really don't like it. So here is the thing. They're saying when your legion is only basically cavalry, they gain shield if they left the building, which means this shield, I think, it lasts a lot of time. It could be somehow abused, but that's a 600 factor. It's not really much, and I don't really like it nor prefer it. However, if you paid attention to the second skill, the perfect ferocity, your legion gains synergy. Synergy, it will allow you to deal 15% more skill damage, which is crazy. I don't think there is anyone would actually disagree, and this is like literally straight pick. Now things are going to be a little bit complicated here, because here is the skills that which you have to pick one of them. The first skill is Swift Analysis. Your legion takes 0.8 less counter attack damage, which is only works if you are attacking in literally a target that is not paying attention to you. So how actually does counter attack works? So I can explain it to you. So you are the cavalry. You are this cavalry. Okay? The counter attacks only if someone is attacking you from far, like archers or mages. If you are moving forward, trying to, for example, attack an archer or mages, or you are marching away and then an archer or a mage attacked you while you are doing so, whatever damage you are throwing back in is called a counter attack. So when does actually cavalry have any other option of basically doing any counter attack is, let's say there is another legion, any other legion that is not attacking you, okay? That's a legion here that is not attacking you and is attacking another target. So it's basically busy attacking another target. If you decided as a cavalry to attack this target, the legion itself is going to counter back, dealing damage to you. That's the only situations you are going to deal with something called counter damage. The final scenario in which you are going to use the counter damage reduction is while you are attacking someone who's running away. If you are, for example, chasing a legion who's running away and attacking him, you will get back some damage. This damage you are getting back is counter damage. So you are basically only reducing these kind of counter damage only, which means it is not really much useful for me if I'm a cavalry, but if I'm an archer or a mage, this is very useful. You have the second skill, Marksman Counter Tactics. Your legion deals 1% more damage to a marksman unit. Whether it is normal attack or skill damage, this affects both. This one reduces your defense and increases your attack, most likely by a higher percentage than the usual increase. If you think about it, there are two types of damage dealers in this game, mages and archers. However, archers is way more favored, even though mages are easier and easy to obtain the heroes, obviously, but everyone is most likely going to be marksman starting the next season, which is season 1 plus, whatever, season 1 plus, season 1 plus, season 2. Marksmen are heavily favored, and which is why I would prefer to take this skill over anything else. If you decided to take War Zealot, yes, you will have an advantage over others, but you are going to lose some of your defense, which is something I don't really recommend. Now you have really a limited options. It's not best of the skills. You have this one, Gorilla, which I kind of favor. Why? I will explain to you. And you have the skill, Let's Tremble, your Legion gains Keen after defeating an enemy. And then you have the skill, your Legion gains Haste after ending a battle, increasing their march speed by a percentage. When is Quick Escape good? It literally says Quick Escape, which means if you killed someone, you can just have some burst of haste and you can run away easier and faster. However, for this skill, after you literally kill the enemy, you are going to get the buff. Most likely, it's pointless. Like you literally killed an enemy legion, you are getting the attack buff. What would you do with that? It's really pointless. Even if you decided to take it, this is even pointless. The next skill which comes with it, pointless. Like I would understand if this one would be like born to another good skill, but both of these are pointless for me. Like once you take out an enemy, I don't think you have enough time to sustain the buff and actually like use it to maybe hunt a second enemy. I don't favor it. I don't like it. I don't think it's really good. However, this buff is the one that actually makes sense to me. Why? Let's say you are running away or you are marching towards the enemy. Your legion is marching towards the enemy. What is the logical scenario here? The enemy is going to attack you. If the enemy is going to attack you, you are going to receive less damage because you are marching. So whether you want to run away or whether you are attacking an enemy that is aware of you, I find this skill way much better than any other skill. Hence, I'm going to take it. Again, the final two choices is not really the best. The first one, if you won or the battle is basically over, you are getting somehow some heal. However, for Bitchit battle, if your army basically lost 50%, you are gaining some attack. So basically, while you are using an army, you are going to gain an attack. If you think about it, in a battle, there is a chance that you might lose and there is a chance you might win. But while you are attacking, you are losing troop. So, if you lost more than 50%, you are going to automatically get a buff, which favors Bitchit battle when it comes to attacking. That's why I would favor you taking this skill for PvP. Now comes the two final skills for this tree. Skill number 1. When your legion consistently only cavalry basically, they slow the enemy legion and they intercept them and they inflict defense break, reducing their march speed and defense by 5%. 5% for the defense and 30% for the march speed, but it's only for 3 seconds. 3 seconds means you are going only to apply this most likely once only for the battle. This is good and bad at the same time. Good because keep in mind, as a cavalry, you are going to cast your skill as soon as you get the southern rage. You are having this, which means you are going to apply the defense break first on the enemy and then apply your rage skill on them. As for the second skill, your legion deals an additional skill damage when you cast any rage skill. This is nice. Why? Because for me, this is somehow much better, and it's again based on the hero. Your hero here has a 1500 skill damage factor, but the skill itself on the talent has like 150, which is equivalent to 10% of your skill damage. So if you think about it, you can apply this blood mark at least 3 times before you even get to apply this one more than once. So if you think about it, this one is way much better. assuming the enemy did not like basically run away. If the enemy run away from you, then yeah, this might be somehow better, but I doubt it. You are a cavalry. Enemy is not gonna run away from you easily unless you are chasing another cavalry. Hence, I would recommend you taking Bloodmark. This is the major and the main skills which I would recommend for you taking. Now, hear me out when it comes to the other skills. I don't like any other. Most of the skills here, I don't really actually like it. However, if you paid attention, you have here the mobility path and you have the PvP path. What would PvP path here offer you is one of these elite skills. Army of Valor. Increase the damage you deal by Legion while in battle by 1%. That's not bad. 1% damage is not bad. Every 10 seconds. And then the second skill, when your Legion launches a counterattack in the battlefield, they have a chance. I don't like chances, especially when it's a 10%. 10%, guys, means every turn out of 10 turns, most likely are going to activate this, even called luck of the draw. It is not really that good. However, when it comes to the mobility tree, there is an interesting buff here. I don't like this. I really don't like this swift maneuver because it's situational. But for the preparation, when your Legion enters the battle, their attack is increased by 10%. You are getting an instant buff of 10% that lasts 20 turns, and actually you keep losing half of it every second. A second on this basically in the game means a turn. So whenever you lose 0.5, that's a turn. So basically you are at least keeping 50% of this 10% attack for 10 turns at least. You got to enjoy the 80% of the buff or 90% of the buff as soon as you enter the battle and as soon as you launch your rage skill, which is something decent. So the factor here that would decide whether we go all the way in here or not is the skills in between. So if you paid attention here, there is an overall attack, which is not bad. There is an extra damage, which again not bad. But then there is a Legion, which is again not bad. Your Legion deals 1% damage, 5% damage. It is really not bad. So it is really too hard to skip all of these, because if you think about it, that's an extra attack. That's an extra damage for your auto attack. That's a guaranteed 5% skill damage. And don't get me wrong, I think 5% skill damage is way stronger than the preparation, the percent attack, especially when you stack a lot of attack. So again, what would decide here is the following. The skills. You have march speed. You have an extra attack, which we have already in the other skill. Now comes this one. You deal normal attack damage. You gain more speed, or your Legion deals more counter attack. No. What is the difference between these, and why should you either pick this or this one? This skill will only work if the enemy is aware. If the enemy is aware of your existence and is trying to attack you. But if you're attacking farms like farm marshes, nobody is going to counter attack you. Counter attack, as I said, is basically when you attack 2 or 3, or if when basically someone ranged is attacking you, so you automatically counter and deal that damage. Otherwise, it's pointless. So if you think about it, mobility, attack, and normal damage until you get the 10%. Okay, here is an attack. Here is an extra damage on the battlefield and a 5% skill damage, and you have an extra 1% damage. But the problem with this, that it is literally, for me, I don't find it that useful, because it increases the damage dealt while in battle by 1% every 10 seconds, which means after 10 turns, you are going to get 1% damage, which is not really something I like. So what would you pick? Just slight increase of attack, and then normal attack damage, and then 10% attack, or 4% for extra attack, extra damage in the battlefield and 5% skill damage. Both of these actually are very questionable, but for me the safest path is going to be this one. I'm going to go for the attack, and then you have the other option of an extra attack in the battlefield, extra damage, which is 5%, and then your legion deals 1% more skill damage in the battlefield, which is crazy for me. I don't think it could get any better. Now you have the option to try for this one. I don't know why they even call it elite, or you can simply take an extra attack or something. You can add an extra normal attack. I mean, you are getting almost 1% an instant. You don't have to wait like 10 seconds to get it in an extra. No, I really don't like this one. You are going to get 1% of the damage only every 10 seconds. That's really not that good. So if it were me, I would pick an extra normal attack damage. And for the last talent, since this is level 59, I would still go for another adrenaline rush. And that's it for the video, and I hope you did understand why would I pick this PvP talents for Emrys, or in general any cavalry who's having the same skill set. That's it guys, and have a wonderful day.